Okay, so now if everyone will take the papers with the steps and turn them over. And keep out the white papers. Does anyone remember what the first step is?
Selecting and doing
Correct. So you want to do that first because there's no process if you don't have a cow, you want the embryos for. Does anyone remember the second step? Morgan?
Superovulate.
Superovulation. Does anyone remember the third step?
Insemination.
Very good. Good. Too fast. So, same with AI, you want to inseminate the cow so that they're bred. And does anyone remember the fourth?
Flush.
Flush it out. You need the embryos. Does anyone remember the next step? Yes?
Evaluation of the embryo.
Evaluation of the embryos. Make sure they're all viable and good. Sixth step? Morgan?
Isn't it select your reset count?
Yes, it is. Select and prepare them. So you want to make sure that they're ready for the embryos, and we'll go over that in lab too, because there is a series of drugs that you give the cows to make them accept the embryo, because you can't just go put an embryo in a cow and then they got to think that it's theirs. And you remember the last step, Kelsey?
Transfer the embryos.
Transfer the embryos. Very good. All right. Okay, so we're going to have 2 minutes, and on the white piece of paper, list the 7 steps. This isn't graded. This is more for you to know what you need to work on or know, because this will be on the unit exam. So you can go ahead and begin. All right, so it looks like everybody's done. If you got them all, great. You can check your sheet to make sure. If not, that's definitely something that you will want to work on. So is there any questions about anything we went over today? So next lab we'll go over materials, equipment, and all that kind of stuff. But anything about the actual process that you have questions about? All right. Well, so just remember on the 7 steps that, yes?
Does the embryo transfer process vary animal to animal?
It does, and it's not just done on cows. We use cows as an example because that's what we have to work with in lab. But the first embryo transfer, does anyone know what it was done on?
A horse?
Nope.
No?
Wasn't it a lamb?
Nope.
Was cloning?
A sheep?
Nope.
Pig?
Nope.
You?
Nope.
Dogs?
Nope.
Monkey?
Nope.
Fish?
Oh, yeah.
A rabbit. It was done on a rabbit in 1980. I mean, 1890. So it was done on a rabbit in 1890. So that's a long time ago. Does anyone know when it was done on the first cow?
1945.
Later.
63.
Later.
88.
Before that. It was It was done in 1975. So that's not quite, that's close to 100 years after it was done on rabbits, before they got the process to work on cows. Now, they've done horses before then. Does anyone know why you don't do it on thoroughbred racehorses? Morgan?
They have to be done live cover.
Yes.
Right,
So-
live cover.
Is there still benefits to doing it on other horses?
For sure.
Definitely. And it is a very common practice among other breeds, especially when you get into your draft horses and stuff. And a lot of people who have like even quarter horses and stuff, you can put a quarter horse embryo in a draft horse and do that. Now, you don't want to put a draft horse embryo in a regular horse, but you can mix breeds. So you could have a really nice quarter horse and you could put it in a Arabian. It doesn't make any difference across the breed. You just want to look at size. So does anyone know any benefits of doing it to pigs or goats? Is there benefits to everything or no? So it's definitely mostly practiced in cows and horses, but a lot of people do it in pigs. Not too many in goats and sheep. It's possible, but it's just not. It's not worth the money.
You just surgically catch.
Yes, it's a big deal. And the process with horses is the same as far as the steps. The only difference is the actual, you do it a little bit different of a time frame and different medicines, but you do the same, select the horse and, through the whole process. All right, so next week, or tomorrow's lab, we will be in the barn learning about the tools, equipments, and materials needed to perform an embryo transfer. And then the day after that, we will be actually watching a veterinarian perform an embryo transfer. And so you will need to wear closed-toed shoes and long pants or a skirt, because we will be at the barn. Does anyone have any questions about the lesson today or the next 2 days? All right, thank you.
All right, Rebecca, any questions? So what do you think went well, and then how do you think you could have improved?
I think the PowerPoint, some of them had too much words on it. And I think I could have slowed down a little bit in the beginning. I liked that I went over the steps like 4 times. And I liked the video that kind of showed the process, even though it was kind of fast.
All right, what comments do we have?
I feel like you're very knowledgeable about the subject, so like even like when it comes to action, like some other questions and stuff, you know exactly what you're talking about.
Everything was really well organized. I like it.
I really like that, like you said, you had so many, like, you reiterated the steps so many times, that we actually got a handout, and then we got to write it down, and then we discussed it. And I thought that was really beneficial, because you were like, hey, this is gonna be on your test, but then you like didn't just hit it once, you hit it multiple times.
I have no recollection of like what you could find on the internet, but pictures to go along with the steps would have been helpful to like keep visual learners engaged. I know I kind of got disengaged a little like off and on throughout going through the steps because there was so much text and no pictures.
All right.
I really liked how at the end you related this process back to all different species of livestock, because you could have like rabbit people in here, sheep people, horse people, and just be able to relate it across all species. I thought brought everyone like back centered to the process.
I like the video you used at the beginning, like if you wouldn't have had the title on the board and the slideshow to begin with, like you wouldn't have the audio of the lesson was going until you brought up the subject, but it was caught the attention of everyone else.
Yeah, so overall, I just thought you did a really, really good job. It seemed like everything just flowed very nicely. I liked your interest approach, like what Kelsey was saying with the video. Maybe you could have included a little bit more kind of questioning and discussion kind of at the beginning, like after you showed the video and the picture, and I think you went right to some like text or something. So that might have been an area where you could have had some like organic discussion with the group. Let's see. I think this may have been the best example that we've seen yet of where you have a demonstration and you tie it into your objective. So your objective, at least with on your lesson plan, was students will know the 7 steps involved in embryo transfer. So that was your main objective that you had throughout the lesson. And then you demonstrated those steps, or at least illustrated those steps. Maybe I agree with Austin a little bit, maybe some pictures, or I know you had a video on one of them, but something just besides text would have been nice on some of those steps. But then I think you did an awesome job at going over them again in a different way as a class, and then having students apply that individually as a formative assessment that you could collect, not necessarily for a quiz grade or anything, but just to see if students got that or not at the end of the day. So great job.
Thank you.
Take your time, I'm sorry, I have to like erase.
Yeah.
Everybody saw my outfit.
Whole food science lab here. That was a cockroach, I know, right? There's like a whole food science lab in there.
What'd you say, Coach, you're having trouble finding a place to park?
I'm gonna get a ticket.
You went with this. Last week I got a ticket. I had class at Norman, and I parked in the parking garage right next to Norman, and I thought it was a green parking area. Turned out it was an orange parking area, because I was late to class, but I'm just driving. So I parked it,
You don't have an
$35
orange parking
bucks.
sticker?
Huh?
You don't have an orange parking
No,
sticker?
the green one.
What's wrong with you?
I don't have like a parking sticker, but I park in the parking lot right
Yeah.
on University, and it was full this
Pretty
morning, so then I drove all the way to the garage and here by the right. And they had full day like reserved, so I had to park a 45-minute parking lot. Yeah, I would park back 45 minutes, okay.
I'm pretty positive the parking lot, like literally right in front of Norman, is green.
I think some of the levels are different too. I think really.
I don't know, I parked there before I did get a ticket,
It's
and
the
I was
level.
really surprised. Yeah, I was on
Yeah.
the top level because they were all full.
Oh, that's usually like the last one I checked too. I used to have a class at Norman.
What
I
time?
was there for like 40 minutes, I got a $35 ticket.
What time were you
Worth it.
What time did you go? Right
Oh,
before
like
parking was
3
looked
o'clock,
at?
3:30. Yeah, I think parked literally either 4 or 5.
4:30.
I think they always check like, oh, it's like right before the.
And then my like class was there for like a half hour, and I like didn't.
Do you know they value every parking spot on campus for like $1 million per year? That's their expected income from the price.
Because they oversell
Remember that, Brett?
parking passes.
Where you remember?
Yeah, I don't
Fran?
even call them parking passes, I call them
about
hunting
parking.
permits.
Yeah, they clear like $3.5 million after they pay all the employees and everything and pay for maintenance and all this stuff. They make $3.5 million off parking tickets, just parking tickets.
Yeah, UF has the most parking violations of any college, they have that every year. They make the most
Oklahoma
money.
State kids were complaining about it and they're like, we have to walk 5 minutes to class, it's not right in front of the building, and I was like, hold up, no. Parking is maybe not a problem there, so shut up.
Yeah, well, tickets here are so expensive and violations, at most colleges it's like $10 to $15.
No.
That's why I don't want to
How do you work this?
Here, I'll show you.
I would like.
Okay, so you have the right click, and it goes forward.
I worked till 3 a.m. last night.
Okay. And then left click goes back, and you can go back. And this guy here is a.
Change the clock.
Okay. And this is just the unit we're on, guys, this isn't like the topic for today. This is the same unit that we were on last week. Austin House.
Okay, so you're on the animal handling and husbandry unit.
But this is our topic for today.
Okay, we're talking about land lab stuff, so it's the animal science class, and what grade level is this again?
This is 2, so like freshman, sophomore, maybe a few juniors sprinkled in there.
Okay, cool. Whenever you're ready.
Hi everybody, we are continuing with our unit of handling and husbandry, and we're in animal science and services 2. Our topic for today is land lab safety. If you guys want to get out your bell ringers, and here's your bell ringer question for today. When you're done, just put your pencils down so I know you're finished. Okay, looks like everybody's done. So let's do a quick little discussion about this. Does anyone have any answers to this? Rebecca?
Cows are a lot bigger than pigs.
Cows are a lot bigger than pigs.
A pig won't kick you, but a cow will.
That's a really good deduction of this question. Andrew? Got your hand up?
Cows are big, pigs are small.
So wait, so they can do more damage, like if they step on you.
They do more damage. That was the big takeaway. Okay.
I just said that they're different, they behave differently, so they're different.
Okay. Really good. Those are all correct answers. Just wanted to kind of get your minds going towards safety because that's our topic for today. But we are going to do a quick review from last week's lesson. For those of you that weren't here, maybe we'll do, your buddy can help you out when you get the ball. Right? It's where your right thumb lands.
Like in the middle of like a bunch of them.
Dealer's choice then.
I guess I'm closer to this one. Why was there a bull
On the PowerPoint.
PowerPoint?
Do you remember why there was a bull in the PowerPoint slides last week? What it relates to? Want to phone a friend?
On a friend. Awesome.
In relation to husbandry, maintaining your herd health, we need a bull so that you can continue to reproduce.
Okay, good, okay. Throw it gently.
Okay, what, I'm sorry, what
You're
thumb is
right.
it?
Your right thumb.
How does a handler position move livestock? Oh, because of their flight zone.
Because
So-
their flight zone. Alright, so if I'm standing, there's animal right here, and I'm standing right here, which direction are they probably gonna go? The animal's right here, facing you.
Okay, so he's facing me, you stand right there, he's
Mhm.
going to go to the right, or my right.
That way.
Yeah, that way,
Okay.
okay.
What are some stressors to livestock? Everything is showborn.
For sure.
I mean, loud noises, cows are colorblind, so large black spots.
So shadows.
Yeah, shadows. Things like that. Humans touching them that shouldn't be touching them in certain places. Yeah, pretty much anything possibly think of can stress out livestock.
Okay.
Is there a correct answer to that one?
Last week we talked about like if you're going to a new place, they might be a little more spooky. If you have a mom with a calf, she might not be as friendly as she once was when she's got her baby right next to her. So yeah, what you said is correct. Shadows.
Yeah. Cool. Going back.
Right.
What is a flight zone? It's like the comfort area for a cat or a steer or something like that. So like once you interrupt it, they're just like, kind of like,
Are all flight zones the same size?
no.
how do you handle pigs?
Remember the specific word we had for pigs on the slideshow when you're showing them? You don't
You
lead,
drive them?
you drive hogs, okay, good job.
Drive them? Yeah.
We already said that question, so you can get a different one if you want.
Okay. Where is the blind spot, that varies on species?
Cattle, we talked about cattle last week,
Directly behind.
directly behind me. Yep.
How does handler position move livestock?
Okay, we already did that one, so you can pick a different one we haven't answered yet.
Where is the point of balance? And that is at the point of the hip, off the hip.
Were you here last week? Okay, you wanna phone a friend?
Oh,
The shoulder.
Okay, the shoulder.
just kidding.
And if we move, if we're at the point of balance at their shoulder, and we step forward here, they're gonna go back. But if we take a step back and we were at the point of balance, they're gonna come forward. So it's all in your body position, you just have to move like maybe 10 feet to move animals the way you want to. Alright, good job. Okay, today's objective is, without looking at references, students will know and follow the rules of a land lab with 90% accuracy. And we're gonna talk about the 3 major rules today of the land lab. We have a really long sheet, and if you keep livestock at our barn, you sign the rules and agreements to everything there. But we're gonna go over the 3 major rules today, where if you can follow these, you've pretty much followed all the other long-winded rules that are listed in our land lab safety procedures. Okay, the first rule is no horseplay. Does anyone know what horseplay is? Austin?
Wrestling, fooling around, running around, pushing each other.
Pushing, shoving. Where can pushing and shoving lead to more problems?
Spooky animals,
Spooking animals.
getting them on edge and stressed.
And then someone might take horseplay a little too far, someone gets a little too angry, fight happens, and then I have to do paperwork. And when I have to do paperwork, it's never a good day for anybody. Okay. Can anyone else think of why horseplay might not be the best idea at the farm? Michelle?
Because you can get hurt, so like, if maybe like an equipment is on the ground, something like that, and some balls on it.
And also horseplay usually tends to yelling, and when we're yelling and we maybe have any animal in the barn, scare them, they break something, never a good day. Alright, good job. No running at the farm. Why might running be just a horrible idea? We already said it one time.
Scare animals.
Scaring animals.
It gets animals too, right?
What?
It gets animals running as well.
Might get them spooked running as well.
Falling and impaling yourself, or riding and impaling yourself.
Equipment on the ground, you trip, you fall, you hurt yourself, and then again, I have to do paperwork and it's never a good day for anybody. Chelsea?
Yeah, just someone can get hurt and speaking animals. And then you're not paying attention to what's going on and not really running your own life.
Okay, good job. And then do not touch or feed any of the animals at our land lab without permission. Why is this a huge rule? Why do I have do not in all caps, Rebecca?
Safety of the animals.
Safety of the animals and ourselves. So why am I feeding the animals? Isn't that cool? We go to feed animals at the petting zoo. Why can't we feed them at the school land lab? Anyone know?
Maybe they have a specific feed regimen and they have a certain time when they get fed, and feeding them without being like the right feed or at the right time will throw their digestive tract off until they're not eating. And they can't wait.
You might accidentally feed them something that they're not allowed to eat and you get sick off of it.
Okay, enterotoxemia, it's overeating disease in sheep, and it's just a really bad day. You just don't want to feed any of the sheep at our land lab anything other than that. You're going to have some really mad showmen with you, and I'm going to be very upset with you if you're feeding our sheep because they will die. Anyone else have any idea why feeding might be a bad choice? What about touching? Why don't we just go up and touch them? We've all been to petting zoos.
Because they're not trained.
Might not be trained, might not be used to you in particular. Remember we talked about different stressors of livestock and new people being around or lots of people being around might scare them.
We don't wanna mess with someone else's project without their permission, if it's a student's project.
You don't want to mess with anyone else's project. What might also be some things that we discussed why touching or maybe going in a certain pin might not be the best choice you've ever made?
Because you might not know that animal well, and for instance, if you stick your hand through the fence, the animal freaks out and can smush your hand against the fence, or they can bite you,
Or break it?
or break the fence, or break your hand. Like, a lot of things could be bad.
Lots of bad things could happen if we're doing what we're not supposed to be doing at the land lab. Or maybe, like we said earlier, we've got mama cows and they've got new babies. Might not be the best decision to go in there and try and play with babies. Oh, they're so cute. Mama doesn't want you in there. Alright. We're gonna do a quick little video and you're gonna break into groups and we're gonna discuss the video.
Yeah, she's not going. Oh, yeah, she's in trouble. We're still good. Still good? We're still good?
You're not good.
What do you say, Mom?
You're not good. Oh, no.
I'm gonna take the tap now. We're just gonna talk. Look, your tap's cool. It's all good. I'm not gonna hurt her. Just gonna pat her a little bit. Look at this. It's coming right up here. Yeah, what are you saying, little calf? Come on a little closer. Come on a little closer.
Okay, so break into groups of 2 real quick. We're gonna do a think, pair, share activity. So you can move around the classroom, you can get a partner. Or I'll pair y'all up. Blake, would you like to come up to the front and be part of the think, pair, share group? Whoever doesn't have a partner at this table. Okay. So you guys have 2 minutes to discuss the video and maybe what were some factors and why that was not the best choices to be making and how we can apply his bad choices to correct choices at our land lab. Go.
Your cat. Your cat. What do you think? No, lots of fresh cat. Your cat would want
Get back. Get back. Yeah. I just think he wasn't being careful though with, especially any animal with the young, they get super protective. So it was just like
I guess recorded it.
nonchalant, one of the best they have. You could tell their mom just from the body language, just wasn't comfortable.
It's like, you know, the bar right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And actually, yesterday, we saw, probably didn't have it count.
I mean, that's probably what
How
Dawn-
most maternal things in West Africa, like, but,
I just think it very sweet.
yeah.
With the mother. Yeah, 'cause I worked on our farm for a while, and like some mothers were just like super relaxed and could pick up their babies and look, didn't care, and then other mothers were just super like, get really mad at certain
PTSD mom,
Yeah.
Alright, everyone discuss if you feel comfortable sharing with the class? Alright, pick someone who's gonna be your reporter. It's Austin for reporter for Austin. What's one thing that he did that was no, you know it's not good,
He ignored all the warning signs that Mom gave that she was irritated.
so he ignored mom.
Should never do that.
First of all, he just should have known better not to mess with the newborn baby.
So, when we have a cow and a calf, we're just gonna leave them alone?
Yep.
Next.
But like, it's a huge animal, you don't need it, and especially when it has a baby next to it. It's
Okay.
basically something we did before, but, you could also say that, again, keep note of those lines, and you stay there in the line as well.
The warning signs.
Okay. Do you think breed might have played into this at all?
Ramen,
Brahmin,
yes.
Bos Indicus cattle is what we were kind of looking at.
Yeah, you're cows. On your cow.
Michelle, Bo, reporter. You want to-
I think we did this in report, but like he ran, there's no running.
No running.
You've been running.
Austin,
He approached on foot alone.
approached on foot alone. Do you think he was supposed to be in that pen with that mama cow?
No.
Probably shouldn't have been in there. But, I mean, he didn't touch her. Why did it matter? He was just standing there. Why was him being in there just such a problem?
The threat.
He's a threat to a mama cow. Remember how we talked about flight zones last week? He clearly entered her and ignored her. He ignored one of the major structures we had talked about last week, which is if we have a mom and a baby, it's a no-go. We also talked about Bos Indicus cattle, which are cattle who are from like the Indian region, which are, that's like Brahmins, Rangus fall in there. That looked like maybe a Brahmin or a Nellore cow. And they're known for superior mothering instincts. Like, you are not gonna mess with a Brahmin mama and her baby. It's just, she's gonna react like that. It's not gonna be good. No running, that was one of the major rules of our land lab. But him running away in that situation might not have been the worst thing he did that day.
That was probably the smartest thing to do, to be honest.
Okay, anything else we can discuss about some factors or different things that he might have done wrong in that video?
Can you go back to like the no running? So should he have just walked away, or like, what would be the best situation to do with that?
In that situation, running might have been the best choice, but the major take home was don't be in there. Don't go in there. Pay attention to one. If maybe he was supposed to be in there. Maybe he was in there trying to process calves or something. But if you're ignoring the warning signs from an animal, which are stomping their feet, putting their head down, blowing at you, staring at you like this, like, she clearly wants you to leave. She wants you to go away. You are too close to her. You have entered her flight zone and it's not okay.
Yes, in that scenario, you would back away slowly, right?
Back away slowly. Once you realize you're in a bad situation, to just kind of be like, all right, I respect you. You got a calf. I get it. Until you can come with better prepared.
Okay.
Like if he needed to see something on the baby, like he was trying to approach the baby because he was supposed to, are you supposed to approach the mom first and like let her know that it's okay before you go directly to the baby? 'Cause I feel like that.
I also think that maybe a big thing is he went alone to try and work with these calves. You need someone to distract mom. You need someone, if you're working calves in a commercial setting, we're not gonna do this at our land lab, is to play bait. Mom's gotta chase someone so you can work with the calf even a little bit.
And I mean, commercial setting, he should have been with someone, been on a horse or ATV or truck or something. He
Mhm.
should have had a vehicle there. That way you can get away in a hurry. But, yeah, and I feel like he really wasn't supposed to be there. Just the way he was talking, I feel like he wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you should have a horse or a vehicle or don't approach till they're around some trees, some kind of barrier that you can get around, put yourself between, have a barrier between you and another cow.
Okay.
And he also should have, if he needed the calf, you gotta distract the cow, feed it, you have a person, and you gotta get you can't in the middle of the field work on the calf, because the mom can come after you, so you gotta get it in the bed of the truck if you're not taking it to the pens or something, somewhere to even when the mom wants to, but you gotta make it quick, fast, and have distractions.
Okay, so that brings up a really good point. Why don't you guys talk back with your partner again And I want you guys to discuss how you would have handled the situation differently if we're gonna say he needed to process that calf. He needed to ear tag it, ear notch it, give it shots, brand it, something. What would you guys have done differently? So pair up with your group again and talk about how you would have handled the situation differently using good handling practices.
I don't know if this is constructive.
Yeah.
I would think it somehow want to separate the cat from the mom. Maybe it could be maybe you should process the cat, because I feel like if you're right there processing the cat next to the mom, the cat's freaking out, like that mom's gonna be really upset. So maybe try to separate more short dog.
Yeah, actually, I'm not really for that. I'm guessing, yeah, I mean, she's not gonna freak out because there was another incident. Can't. Might see how something gets practice.
Definitely, yeah.
Like on foot, horse cuts the
Yeah.
cat for him, and he just processes
That's
the
nice.
cat. And then this cat kind of walks away and horse walks over to him. He just puts the rein around the reins around more, because it's all slack. Little pet horses, they're fun to watch.
Alright, let's choose a different reporter this time to come back and your other thing, pair share activity.
And then we said that the best way would be pin situation, that's what the cow you want to have with is when you can separate them.
So move them up into pin